Hey guys, in this month's top 5, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 books that make me laugh out loud. So, this list is definitely a very subjective list. Different things make people laugh. What's funny to me may not be funny to you. What's funny to you may not be funny to me, vice versa, all that stuff. So yeah, this top 5, you're either going to agree with me or disagree with me, just depending on your own sense of humor. So I found 5 books that genuinely make me laugh out loud whenever I read them, because I think it takes talent on the part of an author to make a reader laugh. You know what I mean? Because yeah, when you're reading, I mean, you're sitting alone by yourself. You're just kind of reading, and it takes a lot of effort and talent on the part of the author for you to just be kind of sitting there reading, and then all of a sudden just a line of dialogue or phrasing or something, it just gets to you, and it makes you giggle or it makes you laugh, you know. So yeah, I did find 5 books that I recall when I did read them. I remember kind of sitting in my bed and I just burst out laughing out of nowhere. And then yeah, my family comes walking in like, what's wrong? Why are you laughing? What's so funny? At number 5, I have the Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carriger. I have the first book here, Being Soulless. If you don't know what this series of books are about, they take place in Victorian London, following a young woman named Alexia Terabody. Yeah, the thing is, she's also considered a spinster, even though she's still a young woman by our standards today. The thing is, she's at that age where she's also considered a spinster. Ooh. So yeah, not only do these take place in Victorian London, but they also have steampunk elements in them. If you love that whole thing with steampunk and whatnot, you know, things kind of going on in this book that would not be happening, you know, as far as technology and machinery and things like that. But yeah, this series, it follows Alexia Terabody. She does not have a soul. That's kind of her superpower, I guess. She does not have a soul. So in turn, what's also living in this world are things like vampires and werewolves. So because of her lack of soul, she can go up to a vampire or a werewolf, she can touch them on the shoulder, and that negates their power. They're kind of momentarily mortal, and they kind of remain that way for a little bit of time before their powers kind of come back. So that's kind of what she's able to do, her capabilities. But yeah, these books, they're just so sweet and charming. I remember reading these, and I wasn't expecting them to be humorous by any means, but yeah, I definitely found them very humorous and comical, because yeah, you think the Victorian era, the Victorian people were not a very funny people. So yeah, it's kind of a breath of fresh air, you know, reading about this era and these characters living in this time, and yeah, their shenanigans that they're getting up to, and it's just really quirky and silly and over the top on occasion, and it's just a very unique and special world, I suppose, and I absolutely love these books. At number 4 is a classic, and I had to put this on the list, and that is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And yeah, if you've seen the very iconic classic movie released back in the 80s, then yeah, I think you have an idea about what this book is about. But if you don't know what this book is about, it is kind of set in a medieval fantasy world. This woman who's a princess, she gets kidnapped, and it's kind of her journey through getting kidnapped and then getting rescued, and that's a little bit more complicated than that. But this has such a host of characters. You have kings and princes and pirates and badass swordsmen and giants. It's epic and it's crazy, and I love it. And yeah, especially if you've seen the movie. I mean, this book, I think the movie is seriously a perfect adaptation of this book, because if you love the movie, I think you're definitely going to love this book, because it is the same, like, exact dialogue and everything, like word for word dialogue. It's kind of great. But yeah, I love this book because book and movie, I suppose, because it's a satire of sorts. You know, when like I said, it takes place in a fantasy setting, and yeah, these characters don't act like your stereotypical fantasy characters. You know, not angsty and brooding and just all sorts of drama all over the place. You know, it's very satirical and comical and yeah, very silly. I absolutely adore this book and this world and these characters especially. It's definitely like my type of humor, if you will. At number 3, I have The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick, and this, on the surface, this book might seem like a bizarre choice to put on this list, because when I tell you the premise of it, you're going to start thinking, well, what's funny about this book? If you don't know what The Silver Linings Playbook is about, it's about this man who, he's been at a psychiatric hospital. He's been there for a little while. He's coming home. He's coming back to live with his parents, and it's his story about his mental health and coping coming back home. And yeah, he's also trying to get back with his wife, who he's now estranged from. And in the meantime, he meets this other young woman. She also has her own set of mental issues and whatnot, and they kind of make a good little partnership with one another. Their personalities and whatnot kind of mesh together. So yeah, on the surface, this book doesn't sound very funny at all. It's about mental illness and that sort of thing. But the way Matthew Quick writes this book, he does it in such a honest, genuine way, and it really gets at you. And yeah, there's so many quirky, humorous moments in here, and the thing is, that's what makes this book feel relatable, I suppose. You can relate to the characters and the things going on and the way people are saying things. Things come across as very real and very human. And yeah, like I said, even though it is about mental illness, even with all the humor is not there to poke fun at anybody with mental illness. The humor is really just there to enhance the story and the characters and make them very realistic and believable through the humor. So yeah, that's why I love this book. I was just really impressed with Matthew Quick's writing and how he chose to tell this story, you know, rather than it being a story about mental illness and it's kind of depressing. You know, he makes it light and lighthearted and fun for the most part, and I loved it. I definitely recommend this book if you've not read it. At number 2, let's go back to the world of The Princess Bride, but with non-fiction, and that is As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales from the Making of the Princess Bride by Carrie Elwes. You know, when I think of non-fiction, I don't think that I'm going to laugh. I've never read a work of non-fiction and laughed out loud. But that changed when I read this book. Carrie Elwes, he was the main actor in The Princess Bride, if you don't know that already. He played Wesley, and I loved this book, you guys. What more can I say? I freaking loved this book. I read it last year. I simply adored it. Carrie Elwes, he just has a natural gift with writing and telling story, and in such a way that's really genuine and honest and really drags you into the story he's telling. And it is, I remember when I did my review for this book, I described it as being very humble. He's not here to brag and bash fellow actors and whatnot. So I simply adored this book. It was really sweet and cute, and I learned a lot about the making of The Princess Bride through this. And seriously, I think I was laughing every damn page, you guys. If I wasn't laughing, there were definitely some moments that I had tears. But for the most part, it's very silly and hilarious. and it kind of makes you want to rewatch the movie with different eyes, kind of knowing what's going on in the background. And at number 1 is the Pink Carnation series by Lauren Willig. And if you don't know what this series is about, it's a series of, is it 12 books? I can't remember. I think it's, I'm looking at my books over here. I think it's a series of 12 books, and they have like a dual narrative going on. Half of the story is told through a modern day setting with a young woman who's writing a paper on Napoleonic spies in England and France. So there's that setting, and then there's the historical fiction setting where we do take place in the Napoleonic Wars between France and England. And yeah, the characters kind of crisscrossing all over in that. So yeah, these books by Lauren Willig, they are such a delight, you guys. They are absolutely delightful. They are fun and fluffy and light, and they're feel-good books. I guess you can classify them as chick lit, I suppose. I guess chick lit is the right term. Yeah, these books kind of have it all. There's action and intrigue and spies, and yeah, a lot of romance. Like I said, because I described this as chick lit, so yeah, there's a lot of romance going on. But I can't repeat enough, just absolutely delightful series by Lauren Willig. Yeah, if you like this sort of thing, you know, if you like a dash of historical fiction and yeah, a woman trying to write her dissertation paper on historical spies and whatnot, I think this would be right up your alley. I can't recommend this enough. So you guys, that's it for my top 5 books that make me laugh out loud. In the comments below, what books make you guys laugh out loud? Like I said, my choices, they may not make you laugh at all. But yeah, what books what have you read and you're like, oh, this book made me laugh? So just let me know your thoughts down below. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.